Osama.
मेरा ही है।
Osama.
So very interesting.
और सब बढ़िया भाई।
Osama.
चलो ठीक है।
Anyway, so let us now move on, and so I am again requesting to all of you to open up your cameras, but nobody, I think they are just ignoring the request.
Yash, are you here? Yash Goyal.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you open your camera?
It's a network connectivity issue. Because, sir, Wi-Fi is not working, so I'm working on my mobile network right now.
Try
Try
to
to open up your
focus.
cameras and let us see how it goes. Okay.
Adil Akhtar Saab.
So, how many of you who are present here have submitted their M1 milestone?
Submitted, sir.
Yes, Papa.
Sam, yes.
Submitted, sir.
Submitted, sir.
All right. So let me ask all of you who have submitted the ones. So what was your experience, and what were the things which you were very comfortably able to do it? Which were the things which were a little confusing? So what was the experience? So yes, Hamza, you want to start? Hamza, you are looking like Batman with a dark background behind you. So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just was the
But it's good.
trailer, sir.
It's good to have variety. So please.
No, sir. Actually, light is not here.
I know that. So no problem. So what was your experience of doing this milestone one?
Sorry, sir. I can't hear you.
What was the experience of doing this milestone one? What were the things which you were able to comfortably do, understand, and what were the things with you struggled?
It was good experience actually. A little different from what we are used to from bookish knowledge. It's more practical, and working with the team was quite a very good experience for me. And as task was not that tough, it was quite easy.
Great. Task was not that tough. Okay. I hope that you people all did honestly, because I know that filling up PPT is not that difficult. I know that task is very easy. Okay. So if I give you a PPT right now with a template, I am sure, and if I ask you to sit in a group, most of you will make up something and fill the PPT very nicely, and some of you will do an excellent job in creating some animation and some very beautiful effects also. Okay, and there's because internet is there, so there's a lot of material for copying and pasting also. So that also we can do very quickly. But what I am interested in, see, there are two things you have to understand in entrepreneurship. Now, I want to understand the mindset, because when a student comes in an MBA course, the mindset it is all about understanding the mindset. Okay, so my assumptions are that you all have come in MBA to pursue a career, to pursue a white collar career. Am I right? White collar career. So you can imagine yourself, you people imagine yourself working in a proper corporate office. Obviously, some of you want to become civil servants, some of you want to become teachers, that is okay. But majority of you want to work in a corporate environment where you are like very smart shirts and all, and you go with your hair combed and in a very white collar environment. You have a laptop and a desk in front of you, and you sometimes take coffee along and all that. The beautiful environment is there with air conditioning and everything. So am I right or wrong? That is what the image that once you graduate from an MBA and you will work in that environment, obviously. So how many of you want to work like that, work in that environment? I want to just honestly ask this. I'm not going to criticize anyone, okay?
Sir,
Yes, Agnes, you want to work in that kind of environment?
Yes, sir.
That's what the aspirations are. So you can all give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Yes or no. There is a reaction tab. So Vikas, you are nodding your head.
No, sir. I used to be a teacher, sir.
So you want to be a teacher? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So majority of you want to like work in that kind of environment and that have an aspirations. So now it's a very interesting thing to understand. See, this is what the aspirations are. Okay. Now there are two aspects to this aspiration. Okay. Yes, you can end up working in that kind of environment. You may end up in a job and all that kind of job which gives you that kind of white collar environment. I'm again making this term white collar environment. Okay. However, in reality, when you do business, okay. So when you start any business, and entrepreneurship is about starting things. So even if you today look at Binny Bansal or Sachin Bansal, the founders of Flipkart, so they were in white collar executives. They were white collar executives in Amazon in America. Okay, so you know the story. So they came from America. They studied the model there. They were employees in Amazon America. Okay, they are both IITians, were from IIT Delhi. I think one from IIT Delhi and one from some other IIT. So both went there as an engineer. They were working there, and they understood the model. They wanted to do something of their own. Now this term, something of their own, is very interesting to understand. So when you want to do something of your own, the first thing which you have to do is to basically throw away this dream of working in a white collar environment, at least for some time. Now, अगर आप एक startup बनाना चाहते हैं, if you want to create something of your own, if you want to do business in life at any point of time in life, unless you have inherited wealth, unless your father is a big businessman or your mother is a big businesswoman, and she has given you a they have given you a seed capital of, say, for example, and so, that you would immediately start with an office and then start doing business. Okay, but in reality, what happens is the other way around. Now, let me ask you, how many of you watched that video which I shared on ESD group, the Josh Talk video? Did
I have.
any of you?
I have, sir. Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, Keshu is saying,
Keshu.
Adil is saying. Adil is saying or Adil is not saying? Okay.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Keshu.
Yes, sir.
So,
I was.
can you explain that story of Sunny Garg, Keshu?
Yes, sir. Basically, he was a student in the TU, and when he got inducted in the first year of his bachelor's, he was always have the mindset that he would be having his own business in life, that he always wanted to do his business. So what happened that when he got inducted in the bachelor's course, he consulted with his friends and gathered a meeting with the people so that they would start a project on which they could work on. So basically they asked that what's the problem in this society that which we can solve out. So after going through the some people, they what found that all the students whosoever come in the DU, basically they face two types of problem. Basically, they want a girlfriend, and second one is they want a PG, good PG. So on the first aspect, he said that he didn't get the girl he wanted, and second aspect that he started thinking immediately about that how could he solve the problem of PG. So what happened that before that what happened that when some students come in EU, they don't know where is the shop of photo state and other minimal requirements while getting into the admission criteria, right? So basically they helped some students around, I don't know what's the exact number, but they collected around 7.5 lakh in 20 days, just 20 days. And what happened that after that he was confirmed that he was going to do the business. And after that, when he consulted with other people, that what happened that he consulted with his CA that how could we solve the problem of PGs, and he gave his plan to the CA that we want around 140 beds for it, and the CA told him that just give an estimate that how much money you want. So he told that he just go through everything, whatever the things required for that project. So he come to the idea that it's required around one crore rupees, sir. So he managed that rupees around 35 lakh from the bank and 65 lakh from other sources. So after that, what happened that he within a short span of time he collected around 20 crore rupees from that project, and he sold it out after it at a multi-million dollar cost. That's all from my side.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Keshu. So I hope that you understood what this story was about. So let me. So why I'm keen on you watching that video. Okay, so we will play a part of that video because the topic for today is a very interesting one, and I have shared that on WhatsApp group also, that it is about creating a fit between what the customers want, the problem the customers are facing, the pains they have, the things that annoy them. What is the definition of customer pain? We discussed in the last class that the things that annoy the customer. Okay, say for example, one of you have an idea. One of you, when you were doing research about your business proposition, some of you sent me WhatsApp and Google form links for survey, and I noticed that one of you wants to build a someone, and I had an idea of building a Fabrico. Who is anyone from the team Fabrico here? Fabrico. No, the construction portal, this e-commerce for construction. Who was EcoBricks? I think is different. I'm talking about a platform which they wanted to create for construction related things, civil work. No one from the team here?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes.
might be Nirman, sir.
Nirman, sir.
Yes. So let me take this example there. When what was discussed was that they wanted to create a one-stop shop for construction related things, especially construction related manpower. Okay, like architects, like designers, like contractors. Okay, and all these things. So, for example, some of you want to build a house or something like that, and all. So how do you? So it is a struggle which all of us face. So at the top of the mind, yes, there is a struggle. Obviously, there is a struggle. We all that. But the natural step here is what I would not do. I would not advise you to do is to think about a solution first. Okay, an app, a platform, a website, a shop, a product, or a 3D printed product, or say for example, or manufactured product, or a service. Do not think about that first. This should not be the first stage. So in that example of Sunny Garg, what Sunny Garg did was exactly how thinking like an entrepreneur helps you. Kya karna chahiye? Start with the problem. What is the problem? Look for the problem. So what they understood that people who were coming for admissions in DU campus, they were all struggling with the problem of finding a good PG. Okay, paying guest, paying a hostel, or you can say PG, that was the struggle for everyone. So they found, and there were a sufficient number of people who were having this problem. So it was worth solving for a while. Okay, so they thought, okay, this is a nice problem to have, and we can solve it. So how did they decide to solve? They did not create an app. They did not create a website. Nothing. They said, what is the simplest way we can help them? Okay, we can create a pamphlet. एक pamphlet छपाया कुछ आसपास के पीजी से जाके बात करी. Obviously, you need people to come and stay at your houses. So make a listing of PG से यहाँ पे 4 कमरे अवेलेबल हैं, यहाँ 10 कमरे अवेलेबल हैं, यहाँ पे create a map, simple map कि यहाँ पे सब अवेलेबल है. Supply side जो है वो आपने you went taken care of supply, and then you went to the demand side, the people. So what is the best way of reaching those people when they are coming for admissions and they are filling the admission forms? And obviously, getting a house for someone, it involves trust issues. So you always want to basically when you have to say, when you are coming to Aligarh to stay, say for example, you don't get hostel in Aligarh, so you have to stay somewhere. So what is the first thing which we do normally? What is the first thing? Yes, Tausif, what do we do?
Basically we look for the any relatives at Aligarh first.
Exactly. आप रिलेटिव को या दोस्त को या कोई एक्वेंटेंस कह दीजिए उनको, ठीक है, रिलेटिव दोस्त किसी को ढूंढेंगे, ठीक है. तो अब उन्होंने ये सोचा, द टीम स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग, अब ये लड़के जो बच्चे यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, ये हमारे दोस्त तो है नहीं ना, हम इनके रिलेटिव हैं, तो हम इनसे कैसे वो कर सकते हैं, हम इनके रिलेटिव तो बन नहीं सकते. अब उसके लिए तो मतलब बहुत ज्यादा एफर्ट होगा, ठीक है. सो लिमिट टू मैरिजेस आल्सो. सो हाउ डू यू डू दैट? सो you can make them friends. So what is the best way of making a friend? Helping each other. Okay, when you help each other, when you work together on certain things, you become friends. That's it. So that is a very natural thinking. So उन्होंने क्या करा? What was the thing which they were struggling with? जो DU के forms होते हैं, किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी के जो forms होते हैं बड़े complicated type के होते हैं, DU के बहुत सारे होते थे. So it was 2-3 years back, है ना, अब तो थोड़ा online वगैरह हो गया. So they struggled with that. So what they did, they started helping people. They found volunteer groups and they voluntarily started helping people. एक अच्छा काम भी है. हम लोगों के अंदर सबके अंदर एक social animal भी होता है, ठीक है. We all want to do pro social work. Social work भी करना चाहते हैं सब लोग, ठीक है, दोस्तों की मदद करना चाहते हैं. तो आपने यहाँ पे अलीगढ़ में I have seen when people used to come for tests. So they were a group of my friends who used to say establish camps for them. Okay. For helping them, for providing them water, for providing them services like getting them a one night stay at different places, helping them with food and all these things. So there were people who used to do that. So इन्होंने भी ऐसे ही करा, and जब naturally इन्होंने help करी, so अब उनको पीजी चाहिए, तो वो किससे पूछेंगे? जिनको वो जानते हैं वहाँ पे लोकल, उनके दोस्त पुराने, मतलब जो जिन्होंने उनकी हेल्प करी, तो उनको पूछते हैं. तो ये ट्रस्ट बिल्डअप हो गया. Okay, so that is basically a marketing channel which they have created. ठीक है. अच्छा, फिर उन्होंने उनको प्लेस करा दिया, उनको वहां पे पीजी दिलवा दिया, everyone happy. तो उसमें कमीशन बना उनका, ठीक है. And they ended up making, like Keshu said, they ended up making around 7 lakh rupees. Okay, and it was a nice sum for a season. For admission season में अगर 2-3 दोस्त मिलके काम करें, 7-8 लाख रुपए बन जाए, तो that's a good sum. They can have all the party. But actually, this Sunny Garg was more serious about doing business. So then he realized that actually, once the season is over, once the admissions are over, nobody wanted any PG. So the market got exhausted. So that was not a problem which was worth solving for a very long time. Okay. So the problem was there. It was worth solving, but it was not a scalable problem. Okay. Scale nahi tha usme. But again, as luck favors, उनका स्केल उन्हें कैसे मिला? Then people started calling them. फोन की घंटी बजनी शुरू हुई. The way he explains it, कि फोन की घंटी बजनी शुरू हुई. और फोन की घंटी क्यों बज रही थी? लोगों को और पीजी नहीं चाहिए थे, लोगों को गालियां देनी थी. So they wanted to abuse. Why? Because they were promised a lot of things and those promises were left unfulfilled. Because when say for example you are selling things, you make all kinds of promises. Okay, पीजी में ये होगा, पीजी में ये आजादी होगी, ये होगा, वो होगा, but PG are very restricted. Okay, so the owners are very restrictive sometimes. So and people want freedom, students want freedom, so they were not able to get those freedoms, and there were issues with the quality of food. There were issues with other things. There were issues with the environment and all those things, and people started complaining to them. Then what the natural thing is that they started talking to the owners. The owners were not interested now to listen to them. Okay, रहना है रहो, नहीं रहना जाओ. That is the attitude. You know that. Okay, so this is, so then they realized actually that the customer problem was there, but there were a lot of other pains which were annoying the customers. Now you're getting my point. There are a lot of pains there. अब पेन क्या है? एक अच्छा खाना भी पेन है. अगर वक्त पे आपको न्यूट्रिशियस फूड नहीं मिल रहा है and that too at an affordable price, that is a pain for you as a student. Is it not? Second, if so for example you are not got, you are staying at somewhere else, so if you are not getting any laundry service, okay, most people want to have at least खुद तो कुछ कपड़े धोते भी है, कुछ से मतलब ये है कि जरा सा अच्छे बच्चे पहन के जाना होता है तो वो लॉन्ड्री भी चाहिए कुछ. So these are all kind of services. It is not, some of them were literally pains. For example, the bed was not comfortable. Okay, the lighting was not appropriate in the room. The room is dingy. The room smells. There are different things which are there. So these are pains. When you are staying at a place, there are a lot of pains. तो वो पेन कैसे पता लगेंगे? वो पेन जो लोग पेन एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं उनसे बात करने से पता लगते हैं. ओके, समटाइम्स वो अपने खुद बताते हैं पेन. समटाइम्स यू हैव टू प्रोब अ लिटिल. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टअप, अभी मैं आपके एग्जांपल पे उसको एक्स्ट्रापोलेट करता हूँ. आपने कस्टमर जब जो वो वाला है आपका आइडिया, प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन. सो my natural question will be to you to ask this question, okay, who is the person who is having this problem? The person who has to get a house built or something built, okay, civil work karana hai ghar mein, that is the person, that is your customer persona. Okay, any person who is having that kind of need is your customer segment for that startup which I am talking about. Okay, अब इसकी प्रॉब्लम तो यही बताएगा ना. तो आपको सही मायने में अगर आपको इस पे रिसर्च करनी है तो आप मुझसे नहीं पूछेंगे, आप मुझसे पहला सवाल क्वालिफाइंग क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे कि क्या हैव यू रिसेंटली गॉट समथिंग बिल्ट, हैव यू रिसेंटली गॉट समथिंग कंस्ट्रक्टेड इन योर हाउस, और हैव यू रिसेंटली हैड एन एक्सपीरियंस विद अ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर or a civil contractor or an architect or something like that. If my answer to this question is no, then I am not your respondent. मैं वो 25 इंटरव्यू में मैं वो 25 लोगों में नहीं होना चाहिए. आप समझते? यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट हियर. जो 25 इंटरव्यू आपको करने हैं प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए, प्रॉब्लम को समझने के लिए, उनकी पहले क्वालिफाई करना है उसको. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द क्वालिफाइंग क्वेश्चन. रिसेंटली नहीं करा तो मैं 1 साल पहले किया था, डजंट मैटर, बिकॉज 1 साल पहले की प्रॉब्लम्स को मैं याद नहीं रखता, कोई भी नहीं याद रखेगा. ओके, सो जिसने रिसेंट वो प्रॉब्लम फेस करी है आप उससे बात करेंगे. एंड देन यू स्टार्ट नोटिंग डाउन एज एन इंक्विजिटिव पर्सन, एज अ गुड स्टूडेंट, यू विल नोट डाउन क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम आती है, क्या क्या दिक्कत आती है, जितना डीप जा सकते हैं आप. See why this is so important at this stage, why we are spending so much time, so many classes on these very initial things. Yesterday I was talking to one entrepreneur from Aligarh. I will invite him in some of the class to interact with you also. He was telling us very interesting thing. He said that the most important thing for any startup today is to find a white space. White space कहते हैं कि मार्केट में जो गैप है, क्योंकि इस वक्त क्या है ना कि दुनिया में बिजनेस का बूम होता है, हर जगह बूम है. लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर the startups are getting formed, okay, for something or the other. You subscribe to yourstory.com, you will get 10 stories daily of someone getting funded, someone starting something. Okay, so उसमें it is very difficult to find this niche, find this real problem. Okay, एक तो यूरेका मूवमेंट हो गया कि दोस्तों के साथ बैठे हैं, आइडिया आया कि यार चाय बेचते हैं, चाय पी रहे हैं, चाय बेचते हैं, एक तो ये आइडिया हो गया. ओके, बट अब उसको some people have this idea, there's no problem with that. Okay, but who are the people who want to drink tea but struggle, they don't get tea, proper tea. अब आप उनको आइडेंटिफाई करके अगर उनकी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करते तो उनकी प्रॉब्लम जो है वो डिफरेंट होगी. जो चाय हम ढाबे पे पी रहे हैं, ढाबे पे लोग खुद पहुंच रहे हैं पीने के लिए, उनकी प्रॉब्लम से, say for example an executive sitting in Delhi who wants good tea will have different problem. Okay, so problem किसकी है, उससे बात करने से प्रॉब्लम की पेन्स पता लगते हैं और फिर उसमें गेन्स भी पता लगते हैं कि इसमें अगर नाइस टू हैव थिंग्स इसमें है, और ये भी हो जाए, जैसे उन्होंने कहा ना कि पीजी की सर्विस शुरू करी सनी गर्ग ने. So up say for example, now the next stage is nice to have will be that on a click of a button, nice to have, but it is not urgent. मतलब अगर आपको पीजी की जरूरत है तो आप फोन उठा के भी फोन कर सकते हो. ओके, यू विल डू इट बिकॉज आपको अर्जेंटली नीड है पीजी की, यू विल डू इट. बट नाइस विल बी, सो योर प्रायोरिटी शुड बी कि आप पेन्स को सॉल्व करें पहले, कुछ पेन्स को आप वो करें, एंड देन यू मूव टू दी गेन्स. ओके, फर्स्ट स्टेज में जरूरी नहीं है कि आप बहुत सारी चीजें अपने प्रोडक्ट में कर पाएंगे, लेकिन अगर पेन सॉल्व होता है ना तो लोग, पीपल विल फ्लॉक टू योर सॉल्यूशन. तो ये तो जब आइडेंटिफिकेशन, जो राइट साइड वाली जो बात थी, जो याद है वो यूनिक वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन कैनवस, वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन कैनवस तो याद है आप लोगों को? तो लास्ट टाइम जो हमने बात करी थी, रिमेंबर दिस कैनवस? ये आपके माइलस्टोन 2 में आपको फिल करके रखना होगा. ओके, माइलस्टोन 2 में इंपॉर्टेंट होगा, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होगी, ये भरना होगा और समझना होगा कि कैसे करना है इसको. सो इसको ध्यान से देखिए. अभी इसका राइट हैंड साइड वाला कस्टमर सेगमेंट जो हमने लास्ट टाइम स्टडी किया था, कि कस्टमर की प्रॉब्लम्स को नोट करेंगे, जॉब्स व्हाट अ कस्टमर वांट्स टू गेट डन, कस्टमर के पेन्स को नोट करेंगे, और गेन्स को, व्हाट विल बी द नाइस थिंग्स टू हैव. अच्छा, कुछ jobs, the jobs can be of 3 types. Okay, there are functional jobs, okay, there are social jobs, and there are emotional jobs. Now let me give you an example of an emotional job. Can anyone give me an example of an emotional job? कि हम कोई प्रोडक्ट खरीदें और उससे हमारी कोई इमोशनल जॉब पूरी हो, वो कोई इमोशनल काम करे हमारे लिए, ऐसा होता है क्या? या सोशल काम पूरा हो?
Sir, flowers.
Buying a pet.
Very good, very good. Who said flowers?
Abdas.
Abdas lately brought some flowers for someone?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So flowers are an example. Yes, flowers, they satisfy our emotional need. Okay, gifts many a times they have an emotional. It is a function, because once you are giving a gift to someone, gifting something, that item should have a functional need. Okay, but that doesn't matter. Flowers does not have any functional. Okay, they smell nice. Okay, but they are more of a satisfying the social and emotional need. Similarly, for example, we buy t-shirts. All of us buy t-shirts. Okay, what is the functional need we are satisfying? Functional job. We are getting ourselves covered. That is the functional need. Okay, but you buy a t-shirt, for example, from a brand like say US Polo. You buy a t-shirt from United Colors of Benetton. Okay, Levi's. So the functional job which each of these 3 brands are doing is the same. Am I right or wrong? But there is a social and emotional need, social and emotional jobs, which each one of them are doing, which are slightly different. Okay, like for example, when you are buying it, say for example, from US, you are buying it from a brand like Red Tape. Okay, so what is the social status when you wear a Red Tape t-shirt versus when you wear a US Polo t-shirt? What is the status? Which is higher? Come on, guys. I think you know that.
US Polo.
US Polo.
US Polo or United Colors of Benetton. So when you have that logo, so it satisfies your social job also. It is doing a social job also, that when you are going to a party and you are wearing a t-shirt, which is branded t-shirt, they have a logo of UCB. So it conveys to the socially that, okay, you are like, what is again the functional job which iPhone does is the same, and in fact poor than the functional job with an equally good OnePlus phone or a Vivo phone will do. But iPhone will help you solve that the jobs which iPhone is getting done are more social and emotional. Okay, so they have created kind of a tribe. So it's an iPhone, it's an iPhone. So you have seen that campaign. Okay, so if you don't have an iPhone, you don't have an iPhone. So that is what they are saying. Okay, so think about it. Even in a crowded market, अगर आप functional job के साथ emotional और social job को satisfy करते हैं, you have a product always in mind. Now, I will give you a very, very interesting example. You know how crowded the market and how difficult the market is of cars today. Cars, especially luxury cars. कितनी crowded, कितने brands हैं? BMW is there. There is Mercedes-Benz is there. There is और बताइए Audi is there. There is Volkswagen is there. और बताइए आप लोग तो you should be knowing all these brands.
Porsche. Jaguar.
Porsche, yes.
Ferrari.
What?
Bentley.
Bentley is super luxury. Rolls-Royce, Bentley, like okay. Yes. Land Rover, Range Rover. You have there's lots of brands, and it's a very difficult market. You all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
But then came Tesla. Do you think that I care about environment? I may care about environment, but did Tesla target that job, that people who care for environment should buy Tesla?
No, sir, there was mainly brand name.
They created an emotional and social need, social job related to around that. Okay. So first they created a kind of a tribal culture. Okay, tribe ka part hona hai iska. You have a Tesla. So Tesla is brand. And you cannot compromise, because people who are paying so much money, they care about environment. Okay, that is fine, very altruistic and all these things. But they also care about speed. They also care about the inside interiors of the car, the comfort of the car, the acceleration of the car, all of these things, the space in the car, the design, the beauty of the car. So people who will pay that much, they will all care about all of these things. So they are looking at lot of customer jobs which are social and emotional for the people. Okay. So think about, whenever you are trying to understand your customer segment, do not only focus on the functional job. That's what my message here is. That is my key takeaway. Do not focus only on functional jobs. Try to understand why people buy products. People buy to satisfy their emotional needs. They try to satisfy their social needs. Any product you buy, which is a brand, it will be satisfying some social or some emotional need. Look at what they are doing. And then you will realize that how can you tap into that? First thing. Then understand the pains. A pains mein, you can have a scale. Scale समझ रहे ना? Severity of the pain. एक तो pain है मतलब shooting pain. Okay? Like for example, you have a shooting pain in your, you met an accident of shooting pain. है ना? दर्द हो रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा. एक है वो थोड़ा कभी वो चोट लग गई, अब वो हल्का छोटी सी चोट लगी, दर्द हो रहा है हल्का. So that is the severity of the pain. Okay, very colloquially, very simply understand it. Okay, तो ऐसे कौन से पेन है कस्टमर के जो कि बहुत सीवियर है? अगर वो नहीं होगा तो कस्टमर का कुछ मतलब कस्टमर कैन नॉट गेट अवे विद इट. वो पेन कौन से हैं? So say for example, अगर आप कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन वाला है, तो कंस्ट्रक्शन के काम में जब आपको अपने घर में कंस्ट्रक्शन कराना है, you want to get something built in your house. What is the thing which is the most painful thing? Ask this to the respondent. सबसे ज्यादा पेनफुल क्या होता है? उससे कम क्या होता है? मतलब पेन अगर हम 4 पेन पॉइंट्स हमने नोट करें तो सबसे खतरनाक पेन किस चीज से होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, there might be say there is one pain that you have to get your construction material yourself. आपको ला के प्रोक्योर करके कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को देना पड़ता है ना? एक तो ये हो सकता है, that is also a pain. The second is say you don't get it at a right price because you are not the contractor yourself. The wholesaler will not give you the discount they give to contractors. Okay, so you're not getting the best price. So not getting the best price is also one of the pain. Okay. But say for example, if the contractor runs in between, this is also a pain. सीढ़ी बन रही है घर में, आधी सीढ़ी बना के चले गए, अब छुट्टी पे हैं. And what is the excuse? सर लेबर भाग गई है. बहुत सिंपल सा वो है. This is the pain. अच्छा ये जो पेन है ना, this is the most severe pain according to me. क्योंकि मैंने सिविल वर्क कभी करवाया घर में, तो मुझे पता है थोड़ा सा. Okay. So this is the most severe pain. The second pain is also the quality. Third pain can also be the quality of workmanship is not good. Tile लगा रहे हैं, tile टेढ़े लगा दिए. So that is basically finish नहीं करा कुछ. So that is workmanship. So workmanship में, if the quality is not that standard, that is also a pain for me. But is it a pain which is very severe? Or I can compromise on that. Some people can compromise. मतलब अगर जैसे ये चलो ठीक है यार, कर तो दिया, काम तो खत्म हुआ, okay, ultimately. But it will be a gain. It will be a real gain if someone does a very good job in terms of quality, or someone कुछ extra करके जाए उसमें. Say for example, I got one washroom constructed, and the contractor was supposed to basically install the tiles and all these things. He did everything, but उसके बाद paint करते हैं. Okay, so what they do is that they don't know the order of the work, because क्या होता है कि normally the contractors are not civil engineers. Okay, and they are not experienced. Even civil engineers are not experienced in that part. Okay, you don't. You're all smiling, Waqas and Adnan. Okay. So the order of the work is very important. Okay, अब टाइल लगा दिया, अरे सर वो लाइन तो डाली नहीं, अब वो टाइल टूट रहा है. ठीक है, फिर टाइल टूटा, चलिए वो भी बर्दाश्त हो गया, वो भी आपने छुप के कर लिया. ठीक है, जल्दी से कर दिया. बट से फॉर एग्जांपल आपने लास्ट में पेंट किया, or paint had spilled over all the tiles. Okay, and now the labor is gone. So you get a washroom, you spent all that money, and on the last finishing part there is like a lot of gaps are there. Okay, so and the other contractor, what he does is that he gets a labor for say 2 hours, give him a thinner, है ना, वो thinner लेके और वो सारा जो पेंट है वो साफ करवा देता है. So you're getting my point. That is a gain. Okay. लेकिन gain जो है, अब उससे क्या होगा कि next time when I have a choice between contractors, I will always call that contractor who did this gain part also. Okay. So think about all your problems from customer jobs, pains and gains point of view, and ask the people who really have the problem. Okay, general public से interview लेने से आपका purpose solve कभी नहीं होगा. ठीक है, and you will end up creating product that nobody wants. So your job is to achieve a unique value proposition and fit between the problem and your product. जो आपका product होता है, देखिए ये कोई काम सिर्फ करने के लिए काम नहीं है, ये काम है स्टार्टअप की सक्सेस का सबसे बड़ा फंडामेंटल स्टेप. किसी भी बिजनेस की फंडामेंटल स्टेप is that understand the white space in the market, whether it is a social white space, functional, or whatever kind of white space is there, how painful it is, and create a product which satisfy or fulfills that white space. अब उसको fulfill करने के 3 तरीके हो सकते हैं. Okay, first is obviously your product and service. So what kind of, you can design a product around it, you can design a service around it. So आपका solution जो है, अब आप solution पे बात करना शुरू करें. इससे पहले तो आप solution पे बात करेंगे ही नहीं. You're getting my point? मुझे नहीं पता कि whether my construction related problems will be able to solve by an app. Okay, I remember one of my student, I think 3 years back, from my MBA class, one student, he started a startup in Aligarh, which is basically very similar to Urban Clap. जो home services होती है ना, कि you get home repairs हैं, even these kind of repairs, plumbing repairing and electricians and all these things. So he started a service for that. Okay, So he thought of launching a website and people and all that. But when he did a survey, nobody was comfortable in Aligarh at that time. Nobody was comfortable in going to a website or installing his app. So he would have spent around 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees on getting that app built and all these things at that time. Okay. So usne, when he realized कि यार एक simple phone number is good enough and a WhatsApp messages and SMS campaigns will serve the purpose, और एक Facebook page बना लेते हैं. People will automatically come to our page. At least we will get an idea. It will be a very, very cheap way. Cheap, not that cheap, but what I mean is that it will be a cost-effective way of getting to that. Okay, if it's really scaling up, then people are comfortable installing your app. Okay, I stayed in Delhi for 3 months. I installed Urban Clap app. The moment I came to Aligarh and my WhatsApp, my phone had less memory, I uninstalled that app. Okay, I do not care about the apps, whether you have an app or not. I care about if my problem is getting solved or not. So understand this point. For every customer, what is more important is the pains and how the pains are getting addressed. So your product or service should address that. Okay. फिर अब वो gain creator है. If say for example you create a gain something in your product, you can have a pain relievers. And always remember that if say for example you interview 25 people, आपके पास pains का एक लंबी list तैयार हो जाएगी. हर किसी की इतने सारे pains होंगे. Okay. Now as a startup, can you solve all of these at one go? Has any startup been able to do that, or has any business been able to do that? Okay. Mukesh Ambani launches Jio, he is not able to fulfill our pains. Okay. अभी भी कॉल ड्रॉप होती है जियो पे बहुत ज्यादा, तो वो भी फुलफिल नहीं कर पाते हैं, तो सारे पेन रिलीव नहीं हो पाएंगे. सो थिंक अबाउट what you are going to pick out जो सबसे सीवियर पेन्स हैं एंड इजी फॉर यू टू सॉल्व आल्सो. आपके पास रिसोर्सेज हैं उसे सॉल्व करने की. यू कन्वर्ट देम इनटू पेन रिलीवर्स and you focus on that 2-3 pain relievers and some gain creators, some feel good things कि कस्टमर डिलाइट होके जा रहा है, आपके पास आया, आपने कुछ गेन क्रिएटर कर दिया, मतलब कुछ और एक्स्ट्रा दे दिया आपने उसको. ठीक है. सो गेन क्रिएटर्स, थिंक अबाउट products and service and that, and once you basically combine these three things together, you get the fit. आपको फिट मिलता है जहां से आपके स्टार्टअप की जर्नी स्टार्ट होती है. ओके, ये सबसे फंडामेंटल थिंग है. अगर ये प्रोसेस नहीं किया तो क्या होगा कि बहुत लॉफ्टी आइडियाज होंगे दिमाग में कि ये भी हो जाएगा, कस्टमर के लिए ये बना देते हैं, वो बना देते हैं, और अल्टीमेटली व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट नोबडी एंड्स अप बाइंग यू एनीथिंग फ्रॉम यू. ओके, so you struggle and you face. So most of the time what happens that you have seen the example of Sunny Garg. I would again advise you to go back and see that video. Why I'm saying that? Kyunki he understood that this process, he went through this process of understanding the pains after he basically launched the service first. तो उसका pilot type हो गया था. Okay, so pilot किया, फिर उसके बाद उसको पेन समझ में आए, एंड देन ही क्रिएटेड दिस वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन फॉर हिमसेल्फ. उसने ऐसे फॉर्मली नहीं किया होगा जैसे आपको ये डायग्राम दिख रहा है आपके सामने. तो यू आर लकी एट दिस स्टेज, यू आर गेटिंग दिस डायग्राम फॉर फ्री. ओके, सो ये चीजें आपको इस वक्त मिल रही है. सो यू कैन एक्सपेरिमेंट विद दैट. तो ये टूल ऑलरेडी आपको मिल गया, एक फ्रेमवर्क मिल गया, इसमें किस दायरे में सोचना है, किस तरह से सोचना है, क्वेश्चंस मिल गए. And because all the entrepreneurs do this part, but they do it very randomly. Okay, so इस क्लास का पर्पस ये है कि आपको वही सारी चीजें जो एंटरप्रेन्योर करता है ऑन ग्राउंड, वो आपको फॉर्मली और एक अच्छे तरीके से समझा दी जाए, ताकि when you start your entrepreneurship journey, you are well versed with it, you have practiced it properly, and you don't make those same mistakes, and those mistakes are not expensive for you. Okay, that mistakes you can avoid those mistakes. So अकलमंद तो वही होता है जो दूसरों की गलतियों सीख लेते हैं. So that is what this course is all about. तो अब हमने आज जो हम समझ रहे हैं वो हम इसका फिट समझ रहे हैं इन दोनों चीजों का. ठीक है, तो एक बार वीडियो भी देख लेते हैं डॉक्टर राजीव रॉय की. आवाज बहुत कम है इसमें, लेकिन फिर भी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वीडियो.
Hi there. Remember the value proposition canvas? We saw it in the previous session on customer segment. The value proposition section is shown on the left side of the value proposition canvas. It describes the value you offer your customers. And it can be broken down into three parts: products or services, pain relievers, and gain creators. Let's go through them one by one. Products and services refers to all the products and services you offer. It is this that helps your customer complete their jobs. You must understand that products and services do not create value on their own, but only when they are related to customer jobs, gains, or pains.
Are you able to properly hear this, or there is some problem?
Yes, sir. We can hear. We can hear.
Okay, perfect.
Not all products and services will be equally important for the customer. Some may be essential, while others may be simply nice to have. Next, what are pain relievers? Pain relievers describe how products and services alleviate specific customer pains. They reduce or eliminate some of the things that annoy customers before, during, or after they try to complete a job. It is not possible for a product to deal with all the pains in a customer's list. Great pain relievers focus on the important pains and deal with them extremely well. So, what are gain creators? Gain creators describe how exactly your products and services create gains for the customer. They describe how the product and services will produce outcomes and benefits that the customer expects, desires, or would be surprised by. As with pain relievers, it is not possible for a product to deal with all the gains in a customer's list. Effective gain creators focus on the important gains that make a real difference to the customer. The products and services, pain relievers and gain creators together constitute your value proposition. So after you create your value proposition, you need to assess if it is a good fit with your customer segment. So what does fit mean? Fit is achieved when the customer gets excited about a value proposition that meets their needs. This happens when the value proposition addresses the important jobs, pains and gains of the customer segment. Great value propositions are always about making the right choices about which jobs, pains and gains to focus on and which to let go of. Fit is hard to find and maintain, and it's probably the very core of value proposition design. Now that you have learned what goes into creating the value proposition, let us see how to put it on the value proposition canvas. Let us continue with the example of the.
Are you able to hear this audio?
No, sir.
Yeah, this video actually has a very low audio. So I'll just explain what he's trying to do, but you can watch it on your own with a headphone. So I think it will be much louder on the headphone. So he took the example of the wedding planning thing. Okay. So he created this example in which he talked about that there were a lot of pain relievers. So say, for example, the product and service finally decided by the understanding that, okay, how do you solve this wedding planning issue? So you create an online wedding services via app. Okay, you create an app to solve this problem. Okay, so what will be the pain relievers? You know? So in that, he took that service management, whole service management and contracts for which are there in the which is there for the marriage. जो service contracts करने हैं, say for example catering and lighting and music and something else and sitting and venue. So all the service management is there. Okay? Contracts to be signed with people, and if it's a large wedding, obviously there is a payment issues and all these things. So price comparison is very important, and quality assurance. So you are assuring to the customer that okay, you will get this kind of quality. You are showing them some demos in the form of some pictures, maybe some past work which you have done, or your designs which you will fulfill. Okay, all these things. So you assure the quality that this is a minimum quality we will give you. So which is very difficult. So it is a pain reliever. So all these are pain relievers which this app is trying to solve. Okay. So आप भी अपना जब सोचेंगे, there can be more pains, but you will focus on only the relevant and the most severe pains which you can very effectively solve. Okay, and relieve. That will become your pain relievers. Okay. Then they thought that why not create a aha moment, aha experience for the customer. So to create aha experience for the customers, you need some extra things in your, as grain creators in your app or something. Okay. So you remember that initially we used to buy this money, buy groceries from the traditional kirana stores and all. We still do that. Okay, so वो क्या करते थे, वो पहले बिल तो कुछ आता नहीं था, वो एक हाथ से पर्चा लिखा हुआ आता है. So this was the culture everywhere. Okay, but when with the advent of supermarkets and hypermarkets, what had started happening, that people started noting that there was a lot of saving. So these people, when they were creating hypermarkets, so वहाँ पे एक आपने display देखा होगा, उसमें I don't know whether you have seen the display. You go to big bazaar, okay, and you go to other some of the big retailers, e-tailers. So what they do, they create आपका total आता रहता है and you save. There is one column you save और उसमें कुछ money they will, और finally जो आपका bill print होता है उस पे भी लिखा होता है कि you have saved this much money. Okay, so saving money and saving time is basically some of the things which are gain creators. So you are creating an app in this case to save their time and to save their money. You simply show them, okay, आप बाहर जाएंगे, आप इतना टाइम खर्च करोगे, आपको सही प्राइस भी नहीं मिलेगा. We are basically an aggregator. We are getting you the best price. You will not get this price. You remember Yatra came up with a money back guarantee. With if you get a better deal than Yatra will still this option is there in Yatra. Okay, so आप कहीं और से होटल बुक करें और यात्रा पे उससे मतलब आप यात्रा से सस्ता मिल जाए. So you can go back to Yatra and say that this is what I'm getting at some place else. So Yatra will basically discount to that. Okay, they guarantee it. So saving time, saving money, and obviously customer service, some resources, some very nice say branding and all these things. So all of these things, they were gain creators for people. Okay, so this is how you think about your enterprise, your business idea. That आपने जब pains assess कर लिए, gains देखे कि क्या gains हो सकते हैं, and then you choose from them. And once you choose, then you decide to basically अगर ये fit हो रहा है, this fit is very difficult to actually achieve. Okay, इसमें थोड़ा सा you have to be patient and you have to iterate. You understand? Experiment करना होता है इसमें, देखना होता है कि क्या चीज fit हो गई. एक चीज fit हो गई, you are hit. Okay, so that is the mojo. You have to find the mojo here. Okay, ये एक fit जो है वो achieve करना बहुत जरूरी है. So that is what the today's actually session was all about. And I would like to basically, there are some handouts for you and activity instructions for you, which I would like you to do it now. आपने अब तक ये तो खैर इसको आप you can ignore this one. Okay. Craft your value proposition. ठीक है, तो अब आपने जब customer pain और customer ये सब identify कर लिया, so then you start asking these kind of questions. There is a list of questions here. Okay, pain reliever subsection. Okay, what will help your customer save money? What will make your customer feel better? What will make the solution more robust? What will put an end to the difficulties that your customers are encountering? ये बड़े generic type के question हैं, ये हर startup में fit हो जाएंगे. Okay, so कोई question fit होगा, कोई question नहीं होगा. You can ignore the question which is not absolutely fitting, but you can also modify it. You can add more questions to it. और जब आप ये आपस में discussion करें अब अपनी team के साथ, तो आप ये discussion इन questions को ध्यान में रख के करिए. Okay, So what can be the pain relievers? हम अपने प्रोडक्ट में क्या कर सकते हैं ऐसा कि कस्टमर्स दे फील वेरी, उनका पेन ये वाला खत्म हो जाए? क्या हम उसके लिए एक फोन सर्विस शुरू करें? हम अपने एक एक्स्ट्रा कस्टमर सर्विस नंबर होना चाहिए? ये क्या चीज होनी चाहिए? Whatever it is, okay, think about what can do that, and then what can delight the customers, okay? क्या ऐसी चीजें हैं, like for example, recently my sister brought some cosmetics from one brand, okay, online brand है कोई सा, wow करके कुछ है शायद, anyone knows that? Any girl?
Yes, sir. I have heard wow.
You are using wow, okay, very good. Aisha, you are using wow. So, Mama, can you any brand?
Wow Science. So
Wow
yes,
Science.
Wow.
Wow Skin Care and all these things. They are like these are online brands. Okay, so these are very, so the kind of packaging they have. Okay, that packaging makes a difference, and there is a card where they delight the customers with a very nice card. It's a very personalized card sometimes. Okay, dear so and so, with your name, because you have booked the order, so they know the name. So dear so and so, this is how you use these products, or this is how we are at your service and all this. It's just a simple small card. I don't know whether it is coming with these brands, but there are some brands which are doing that, and it is great, and that is a gain creator. Okay, so as a startup you have to differentiate yourself also. So आप कौन सा gain creator ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि आपसे for example steps to use this और extra recipe, और जैसे शुरू में आपने देखा होगा ना वो मसाले के पैकेट आते थे, शान मसाले, and then there were some competing brands I saw, and they started mailing some recipes with that. So that was gain creators. So think about gain creators. So what can be the gain creators for your product and service? Think about that. So ये exercise आप activity आपको अपनी टीम में बैठ के करनी है, ठीक है? उससे आपका solution will become more strong. You will have a unique value proposition, ठीक है? और जब आप ये कर लेंगे, so then you will come at the very end of this. Okay? अब आप ये देखेंगे कि ये फिट हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा. तो this is a question है, ये आपको खुद से इसको agree करना है. Does your value proposition focus on the most important jobs, most extreme pains, and most essential gains? Yes or no? Okay. जब तक इनके आंसर yes नहीं होंगे, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि we have not found that perfect fit for our product. हम अभी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं कर पाएंगे अच्छे से, क्योंकि हमारा जो हम कस्टमर को प्रपोज कर रहे हैं, दैट इज अवर वैल्यू विच वी आर प्रपोजिंग, इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट. ओके, दैट्स नॉट आंसर. इनके एक्सट्रीम जॉब्स को दे आर नॉट फुलफिलिंग. ओके, सो ये दो हैं, बहुत छोटा सा क्वेश्चनर है, दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. एंड वंस यू डू दिस, I think I will not go much beyond this today. Why I am keeping it very short and very simple today is that आपने already कुछ काम कर रखा है. अब तक आपने जो काम किया है उसको रिव्यू करना है, ठीक है? उसको एक रिव्यू करना है. And there is one more news for you, that I am extending the date and time for the submission of your milestone till tomorrow night. मैं कल रात को 12 बजे तक का आपको ये लास्ट एक्सटेंशन दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है? माइलस्टोन 1. Because of some technical issues, because of some things, some people were having problems, some people were making up that they were having some problem. No issue, no problem. Okay, I all understand this. है ना कि आजकल सबसे आसान तो ये है कि टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम हो रही है सर, इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा है, ओके, और अपलोड नहीं हो रहा है, and all these things. Okay, you people are very tech savvy, I know that. So WhatsApp सबका चल रहा है, okay, so Facebook सबका चल रहा है, no issue, ठीक है? तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So I agree with that and I give it to you. There is no problem with that. WhatsApp भी चलना चाहिए, Facebook भी चलना चाहिए, लेकिन learn wise भी चलना चाहिए, ठीक है? और वो तो हफ्ते में एक ही बार चलता है, तो उसको तो चला सकते हैं ना कभी कभी, ठीक है? तो उससे बेहतर, उससे फायदा ही हो रहा है, कुछ सीख के जाएंगे. So that's what you have to do. You watch these videos again. ये lesson 3 के जितने videos हैं, you complete these videos once again. आप अपने ledger पे आप इसको देखिए, ठीक है? Understand this process. A very simple concept, but I think it's one of the most ignored concept पूरे startup में. क्या होता है कि startup बना लेते हैं लोग product बना लेते हैं, लोग app बना लेते हैं, companies वो बना लेती हैं, Google Glass बना लिया Google ने. आप सोचिए कितना expensive product है, but value proposition match नहीं हुआ. They have not done that homework. Okay. Similarly, there were a lot of examples. I can give you a lot of examples of companies who have massively failed. Colgate. Yes, Adnan, you want to ask something? Yes.
Sir, you said about to research value proposition, but there are some companies like Kamran mentioned about Apple. They said the customer don't know what they want. We will tell them what they want. So there are some things like Swiggy. For example, Swiggy, like we are working on a food startup. So I will give an example of Swiggy or Zomato. So what they did is they didn't took your problems initially, but they built a craving in you. आपको दिखाया कि हाँ आपको खाने की जरूरत है. आपको हर एड में वो बताया उन्होंने कि देखो अभी खाने की जरूरत है और हम 50% ऑफर देंगे. So what they did is they built a value proposition instead of searching it in the market itself. Like there is no as such big problem. People are going already through it, but they created that value proposition. So there are some ideas related to it. I think Google Glass, similarly, Google also thought in this way कि हम create करेंगे कि लोगों को अभी पता नहीं है, उन्हें इस चीज की जरूरत है, हम उसको देंगे.
You are right. You are right to an extent, but try to understand this. See, advertisement campaign is certain different thing. Okay, what Swiggy and Zomato did was, it's not that they go to the advertisement campaign where you basically focus on the aspect social and functional need, social and emotional needs more. Okay, when you are trying to create a brand, you do that. But don't you think that Swiggy and Zomato solved a very, very, very important problem? There was a pain while ordering food. If you have lived in Delhi, if you lived in Bombay, you lived in Bangalore. I'm not talking about Aligarh. Aligarh is a very small place. Okay, so you आपने bike उठाई, scooty उठाई, you went to Shamshad market and you procure a lot of food and all these things. But Delhi में अब आपका कुछ खाने का दिल चाह रहा है, तो distances are more, traffic is more, lot of hassles are there. Okay, payment के issues होते हैं, फिर आप apartment में रह रहे हैं, वो apartment ढूंढ नहीं पा रहा है, बहुत सारे issues होते हैं. There were a lot of clear value, career pains actually, and functional jobs which were begging to be basically get solved, get it. And once जो product और service की जो communication है, that is second. हम उस पर अभी पहुंचेंगे कि आपको it may be that you are solving a functional need, but usually when you are communicating it to the customers, it is not that functional need you will communicate. You might be communicating some social and more emotional aspect of that. Okay. Yes, Kamran. Kamran, you want to add something?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I was talking about like if we organize a circuit of educational circuit, like if we train students in accident or training and then in fire training, we create a circuit like this. So it will be, people don't like these things, but it is beneficial beneficial for the nation as a whole. So
what circuit?
What is the pain here? How will we describe pain here?
What is the circuit? I'm not.
It's a circuit like, yes, sir. It's a circuit like we will train school students or colleges students in how to cope up, how to deal with accidents, fire accidents, natural disasters. We will create a circuit like this, and we will took students on a trip, and then we'll train them on this circuit. So there is the pain here. It is beneficial for the nation as a whole, but not liked by the students.
See, again, what I'm saying, you try to understand here that it is not that what you will communicate is something else. Okay, it is not that you will communicate that it's beneficial for the nation, you should do it. This is not a good thing. It's like, for example, if you start communicating, this is an electric bike, it looks very ugly, but it will save the fuel and it will be environmentally friendly. Nobody is going to buy it. We all know that. Okay, so but when you make it very nice looking, when you have a design elements, when you had other aspects to it. Okay, say for example, marketing, and that is again, I'm jumping because you're asking that kind of question again and again. What I'm saying is that देखिए जब आप problem identify करते हैं, pain आपको identify करना है. So there is a pain in that people get hurt when there is a fire accident. Because of lack of training, people are not able to cope. Okay, so they lose life, and they're not able to save people, or accidents. If they don't get they don't know what is first aid. So these are all pains. Okay, once you need to ask people who have suffered recently, so they will give you answers about what are the real pains and what will be the things. Then comes your value proposition and gain creators, and once you gain creators can be a lot of other things in that. Okay, yes, Adnan, you want to add something?
Sir, like Kamran mentioned about this fire training and all. So the problem with this fire training is that कि जिन्होंने देखा है fire accident वो रहे नहीं, और जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है मतलब उन्हें पता ही नहीं है उसकी जरूरत क्या है.
तो आजकल दिखाना बहुत आसान है ना, आजकल तो वीडियो चल रही है हर चीज की. आजकल तो वो पता नहीं क्या क्या दिखा देते हैं, मतलब उसमें तालिबान का क्या चल रहा है, और मतलब वहां पे यूएस में क्या चल रहा है, कुछ भी दिखा सकते हैं आप आजकल. मतलब इट इज वेरी इजी. सो यू हैव टू बी क्रिएटिव इन दैट. So even creating an experience for people, see, अभी मैं फिर marketing पे मैं jump करना नहीं चाहता हूँ, but let me just give you an example. There was a company, insurance का कभी ad देखिए आप, okay? They will always basically life insurance का कभी ad देखिए, तो marketing strategy में उनकी एक हमेशा एक ही चीज होती है कि what will happen to your loved ones, okay? After you are gone. Okay, so say for example एक value proposition है. One Japanese company, what they did, when they started marketing this insurance product, so what they used to do in Japan, black dress is widows basically wear black skirts. Okay, black long skirts. So what they did, this company, insurance company, hired lot of widows. I'm sorry, yes, a lot of widows, and they sent them. They basically employed them as sales girls. Okay, and what they used to do, they had a very interesting sales idea. What they used to do, they used to go at around 6:30 at different apartments, okay, and they used to ring the bell. So typically what happens at around 6:30, what happens that the male member of the family who is supposed to, and again Japan has at one point of time in Japan, most of the working population was highly skewed towards males, like in India today. Okay, ऐसे ही था पहले वहाँ पे भी. So this is some time back. So males used to come back from office around 5:30, and they would be watching TV with their kids and all these things. They would be relaxing and like this. And usually wife is in the kitchen preparing something or the other. Okay. And this lady would go, this lady would ring the bell, and the person will go in front, open the bell, open the door, and this lady will, what the sales pitch was, if my husband would have taken life insurance, I would not come here to sell this insurance. I would have stayed back at my home and with my kids to take care of them. But my husband ignored it because it was not the need. So now you know that people who basically take life insurance, because that's a very similar thing, they are not able to basically enjoy the benefits of life insurance. Other people who are left behind, they actually enjoy the benefit. So that's what. But the people who are paying, the consumer and customers are different here. The consumer are the family members, and the customer who will pay the premium is basically the earning member. So that's what the value proposition, how they created kind of a value and how they marketed it in that terms. That so see, communication is altogether a different game. What I am at this stage, what I am more concerned that you fixate yourself more on problem and not on the solution. Don't think about the solution. Maybe taking people to a trip outside is not the solution. What if it's not the solution? Yes, Adnan.
So, but then how to prepare the value, find the value proposition? Like, खरीदने वाला कहते कि हमें नहीं करना है.
पहले आप प्रॉब्लम को सही से आइडेंटिफाई करिए. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम. प्रॉब्लम आपने आइडेंटिफाई करी, आपने देखा कि इसमें there are functional issues, there are emotional and social issues also, which can be addressed, which are there to be solved. There are some pains which are there. That what you have to understand. And once you have, आपने सब एक जगह लिख लिया, okay, then you brainstorm together and then you create your product or service and value proposition. That's what I'm saying. You follow this process. इस process में जब आपके पास सारे pains होंगे और सारी problems उनकी jobs होंगी, customer jobs which they are trying to get done, फिर आप उसमें से pick and choose करेंगे. And when you pick and choose, you create a product or service, a package of value proposition. Okay, जो आपने दिखाया कि वो combination है. कुछ pain relievers होंगे उसमें से. Say for example, the training, there will be a training. Okay, there will be a training for people for handling accidents. Okay, that is a pain reliever. Okay, fine. But what will be they can be gain creators. What can be the gain creator? That it's say for example, that training is a fun training. It's a fun training, and you can invite your friends and you can participate in that, and it will be like PUBG or something like that. Create that is a gain creator. So think जब आप प्रॉब्लम को सही से इधर से कर लेंगे ना, ये वाला पार्ट आप जब करेंगे, so इधर अपने आप आइडियाज आने लगते हैं. And you people are lot of creative people around. I think when you start brainstorming, there are like bubbles of ideas which comes up, and then you will create फिर उसकी मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी वो बहुत पास में आएगी स्टेज उसकी, ठीक है, कि उसकी कम्युनिकेशन आप कैसे करेंगे, व्हाट विल यू से टू योर, व्हाट विल बी द सेल्स पिच, व्हाट विल बी द आपका फेसबुक पेज कैसा दिखना चाहिए, व्हाट विल बी द फील ऑफ दैट. ओके, क्या आपको लोगों को डराना पड़ेगा, बताना पड़ेगा कि, तो ये सब चीजें वो कम्युनिकेशन में आएगा. ओके, मार्केटिंग में आएगा, उसमें आएगा. सो अभी पहले ये समझना है कि हम उसे कैसे डिजाइन करेंगे, और फिर ये देखना है कि इज इट गेटिंग अ फिट. क्या ये वाकई में what we have designed, what we are saying that this will do, will it solve that problem, will it solve that pain, will it relieve that pain, will it create some kind of gain? If yes, the answer to that questionnaire yes आ रहा है आप लोगों का, तो then you are on the right track. That's what I'm saying. See, ये एक्सरसाइज जो है ना, आप समझिए इस बात को कि ये एक्सरसाइज कंपनीज को बहुत बार करनी पड़ती है. इट इज नॉट अ वन टाइम एक्सरसाइज. This is a long term exercise, and this is simultaneously done. ये आज हम क्लास में अलग से पढ़ रहे हैं but lot of entrepreneurs who don't have formal training, उनके पास formal training नहीं होती है entrepreneurship की. They experiment and they do it a lot. फिर वो क्या होता है, जब फेल होता है, फिर आदमी बैठता है 10 लोग, फिर 4 लोग मिलके बैठते हैं, and they start discussing these things. फिर ये बातें निकल के आती हैं कि अरे यार ये कर लेते, अरे यार वो कर लेते. That's what that is the process. So what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to save you from those disappointments so that you start that process. That's all. सर आप कुछ कह रहे थे बीच में, लामे सर. Okay, Lame sir I think has to move out because of network or something. So is it Adnan and Kamran, is it giving you direction? Is it?
Yes sir, it is. Thank you sir.
Yes, Waqas, you have some question?
No sir, not right now.
Or anyone else? Okay, yes, Arham, you there? Arham? Faizan, you there?
Yes, sir.
Any question, Faizan?
No, sir.
What is your problem which you are working on?
Sir, we are working on the cloud kitchen.
Cloud kitchen. But again, cloud kitchen is a solution. You should work on a problem. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. So we are getting the needs of the health conscious person.
Okay, great. And Umama, you are working on? Okay, yes, you contacted. Very good. And what about Zainab? Yeah, Zainab. Yes, Adnan, you have some question?
Sir, I have another idea regarding this startup, but I think a lot of people are required and like एक पहले से चल रहा है और I want to take it parallel with this. So उसके लिए कोई suggestion कैसे करें?
See, right now what you are doing is that you are understanding the process. Okay, आप इस process को कितने भी ideas पे apply करिए. It is completely up to you. Say, for example, I simultaneously work on 2-3 ideas with my different teams. So there is no problem. Once I have the frameworks with me, I know that के steps क्या हैं. कि पहला step है कि ये problem solve हो रही है नहीं हो रही. दूसरा step है कि ये value proposition मैं बना पा रहा हूँ नहीं बना पा रहा. Third process ये है कि मेरा prototype कैसे बनेगा या मैं बिल्कुल basic level में test कैसे करूँ उसको जो हम अब आगे आएंगे ना. Business model कैसे बनेगा. Where will I make money? How will I make money? ओके मैं कस्टमर के पास कैसे जाऊंगा. तो चैनल्स क्या होते हैं. क्या मेरे पास कोई ऐसा अनफेयर एडवांटेज है. व्हाई आई एम द राइट पर्सन टू परस्यू दिस आइडिया. ओके क्या मेरे पास कोई ऐसी रिसोर्स है कि अगर किसी को जानता हूं जैसे हमने बर्ड इन हैंड किया था ना वो तो उससे मेरे पास कोई अनफेयर एक ऐसी चीज है जिससे मुझे हेल्प मिलेगी. यस वकास. यस.
Earlier, Adnan is saying that he discussed with me. Sir, you told us about the startup club that is there.
Yes, yes.
So I was. We were
I'm sorry for that. I have not properly activated that. What I'll do, I'll circulate a Google form, okay, to all of you. So whosoever is interested in startup club, okay. So all of you can give your consent and you can join the startup club then. So and then yes.
Pardon, sir. So that's what we were thinking. So can we pitch this idea that Adnan is talking about?
Sure. Sure. You can work on that idea in the startup club also. You can we have incubation center which is coming up more in the 2-3 months. Most probably the formalities will be over hopefully. So we will have the formal incubation center also. So आपका जो ये idea है जो आप class में practice कर रहे हैं practice venture है you make it a real venture maybe after 6 months है ना. You graduate it and जब आप वहाँ पहुँचेंगे आपको लगेगा कि आप इतना काम कर चुके हैं. We will try to get से आपको seed capital की ज़रूरत है. You need a mentor and a seed capital to start things on your own. So definitely this will go on and you will incubate yourself. So that's what we will do for you. कि आप जब इतना कर लेंगे ये शुरू की जो मेहनत है ना ये एक बार अच्छा what this all this you will find that ये कंटेंट जो आप देख रहे हैं वाधवानी फाउंडेशन का ये कंटेंट कोई ऐसा कंटेंट नहीं है that you this is out of the world content. Okay, very simple content and what it is trying to do is trying you to ask right kind of questions. That's all. देखिए जब आप अपने दिमाग में सवालात रखते हैं that is the basis of an informed ह्यूमन बीइंग. आपको सवाल आने चाहिए. जितने सवाल पूछेंगे उतना अच्छा है. ठीक है. और कोशिश ये करेंगे कि सवाल खुद से पूछें और खुद जवाब ही ढूंढें पहले फर्स्ट स्टेज में. दूसरों से भी पूछें. आस्क अदर पीपल ऑल्सो बट ट्राई टू आस्क योरसेल्फ द राइट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ओके कि जब आप सवालात अपने आप को सही से पूछने लगते हैं देन यू गेट इनटू द सॉल्यूशन मोड. You become the part of a solution. You must have heard this saying that if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. अगर आप solution का part नहीं तो आप part of the problem. तो हम as an individual क्या हैं? तो हमें ये practice करनी है that we become part of the solution. That is what entrepreneurial mindset is about. कि solution तलाश करना चीजों का. ठीक है. तो जैसे अगस्त से शुरू में बात हुई थी कि that is वो ये जो वाइट कॉलर वाला जो एस्पिरेशन है ये थोड़े टाइम के लिए ना. अब देखिए अब सनी बंसल और बिनी बंसल जो है अब जैसे ये सनी गर्ग का एग्जांपल है जो आप लोग देखेंगे जोश टॉक पे जो केशु ने एक्सप्लेन भी किया हमें what this actually tells us कि शुरुआत का struggle है. There are three years he has struggled, not just struggled. I would say he refined his idea. He ran around. He got some loan also from banks. Startup India का certificate बनाया, ये सब करा. He learned a lot of things. He learned about business environment and all. And then he got some funding also. So he created a 140 bed PG hostel बनाया, ठीक है, उसको scale up किया और ये सब करा. And then he exited the business with 20 crores. 20 crores उसका valuation था उसके business का. एक college student DU में, और आप लोग तो MBA कर रहे हैं, वो तो MBA भी नहीं कर रहा था, है ना, तो graduation में था, ठीक है. So you are way ahead in terms of knowledge, in terms of expertise, in terms of confidence. आपके पास एक degree already है, okay? Degree अगर confidence थोड़ा बहुत तो देती है, तो that is, you already are into this. So up to there are only 2-3 steps. Achha, and remember this thing, that even if you go to a corporate world today, there are chances that you will end up working in a startup. That's I'm again and again saying to all of you, अगर आप corporate में भी job करना चाहते हैं, so ये chances ये हैं कि आप किसी नए startup में काम करेंगे जाके, because Tata's के पास, ICICI Bank के पास jobs नहीं है देने को. You try to understand this point, okay? So the big companies, big corporations who were traditional employers are not having that jobs now. Who are having jobs now in the job market? Market scenario देखिए, the people who are getting funded, the startups who are scaling up. इस वक्त last year the major Baiju is no longer a startup, I would say, but it's now a big company, the most valuable startup now in the world, edtech startup. So Baiju is acquiring people. Baiju is recruiting people from Aligarh. Okay, so you may end up working in such kind of an enterprise where these skills matter. वहाँ पे ये matter नहीं करेगा कि कितना अच्छा ग्राफ बना लेते हैं operations के उसमें, वैसे वो भी आना चाहिए. That is very important. What I'm saying is that linear programming की वो solve नहीं करवाएंगे वहाँ पे वो. At least in the initial phase, उसके लिए क्या होगा ना, software बन गया है. वो आपको सिखाया जाता है because you understand the fundamentals, because that can be done at a click. Now it is automable, okay? Automatable, sorry. वो automate हो जाएगी वो job थोड़े दिन में. What will remain there is the people who will ask the right kind of questions, who can go on the ground and execute things on the ground, who can build things ground up. So ये skills जो हैं, these skills will matter even in your jobs, even in your recruitment. Mark my words. Theoretical knowledge, having a very good knowledge of marketing is not a skill. Okay, 4 P's of marketing आप याद रखिए, it is not a skill. But creating a Facebook page and reaching 1,000 followers is a skill. Is a skill which is valuable for an employer today. वो आपको फौरन हाथ के हाथ लेगा. अगर आपने ये establish कर दिया कि you created a startup, और आपने अपना Instagram पेज पे you created these many followers, आपने इस तरह से marketing करी, and आपने you created this much, even a small brand आपने, लेकिन but people in your college knew you, people in your city knew you. These are your customer reviews. 5 customer reviews हैं. Customers loved your product. That is valuable for a brand today. That is valuable for a company today. उसके लिए ये valuable नहीं होगा कि आप और mark my words, I'm very blunt. अलीगढ़ की डिग्री कोई ऐसी डिग्री नहीं है जिसको लेके आप जाएंगे और doors will open for you. Reality is this. I also have the Aligarh degree. Okay, so this is my reality. So you don't go. The people do not open doors for you. Okay, Aligarh, Jamia, हम लोगों की डिग्रीज ऐसी नहीं है. This is the reality. So what is doors किसके लिए open है आज? जिसके पास skill है. So learn these skills. That's what my submission is. Okay. So ये जो inquisitiveness है, ये अपने अंदर से जाने मत दीजिए. Bring your creativity, do your brainstorming, and you will succeed. Hopefully. So ये प्रोफाइल में हर चीज ऐड करती जाएगी आपके. ये लिंक्डइन पे, ये आपके लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल को स्ट्रेंथन करेंगी ये सारी चीजें. डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट है आपको इन चीजों का. कोई और कोर्स आपको शायद इतना डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट नहीं देगा. That's what I'm saying. Okay. मेरे वैसे सारे कोर्सेज देंगे बेनिफिट आपको. बिजनेस कम्युनिकेशन भी बहुत बेनिफिशियल है आप लोगों के लिए. एंड नेक्स्ट वीक से मैं शायद क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग भी पढ़ाऊंगा आप लोगों को थोड़े दिन. So that will also help you. So I was just kidding, but all the courses are important. What I'm saying, but there are some direct benefits which you can take out from this course. Okay? Yeah, और teacher से मत कहिएगा. So they will all be behind me.
Sir?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So will you be taking visualization skills in critical thinking?
Visualization skills?
Visualization.
No, I don't think that topic is for me, visualization skills. But I take the unit 2 of critical thinking. I will take the tools of critical thinking. I will take this arguments part, and some fallacies I will take. From next week, I might be taking critical thinking for 4 or 5 classes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I take design thinking in the final year, which is an open elective. Me and Sugui ma'am, we do it together. उसमें visualizations का बहुत important role होता है. Visualizations का design thinking में, and we teach that course also. So if there is any question, please post these questions on Google, on Google Classroom, or on WhatsApp. And I'm again saying, but I get very few questions. That is very disappointing. Okay, इतना सब बोलने के बाद, इतना सब आप लोगों से openly बात करने के बाद, there are very few people who ask questions. So, and I hope that I answer all the questions. Maybe not immediately, but as soon as I get time, as soon as I'm like, if I'm not involved in anything, I answer it immediately. Otherwise, I try to do that, be responsive as possible. Okay. So you do these 2 things you have to do. I will mark this on Google and refine your milestone 1, and you can refine, because हर milestone में होगा ना, ये जो चीजें आपने milestone 1 में करी ना, ये milestone 2 में भी होंगी. Some part इसका होगा. Okay. So every milestone will build on the other on the previous milestone. Okay. उसमें कुछ चीजें और add हो जाएंगी. तो जब final आपकी जो presentation होगी वो milestone 4 होगी, that is going to be the key, and that's what you will have to present it at many places, in front of Vadwani Foundation, in front of us. Okay. So do this, refine it, and if you have any queries, please post. Okay, best of luck. I sincerely hope that you will watch that video again of Sunny Garg. It is very interesting, and watch the videos on the LearnWise also. So thank you. If you don't have any question, let us call it a day.
Thank you, sir.
There's one question, Afzal Shamim. For requirement of this subject, we are working on a dummy company. So without giving actual product or service from company, how customers will tell you there is a pain in the product. Sir, you are not working on a dummy company. Okay, that is first thing. It is not a dummy company. It is practice venture, but practice venture it is a real venture. What I'm saying. Okay. So right now, what you are doing, you are asking the questions to pain जो होता है ना customer का, वो प्रोडक्ट दे के नहीं पता लगता. वो प्रोडक्ट जरूरी नहीं है कि आप दें कस्टमर को पेन आप नहीं देते, आपके प्रोडक्ट से पेन नहीं होता. यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? देयर इज ऑलरेडी समथिंग इन द एनवायरनमेंट व्हिच दे आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग. ओके, वो कोई काम करना चाहते हैं, वो काम सही से नहीं हो पा रहा, वो है पेन. यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? इफ देयर इज, you want to understand, you have to talk to customers, and in this course you are talking to real people. I don't know whether you are doing it or not. That is a trust issue between you and me. I'm assuming that most of you are doing it honestly. Okay, so if you are talking to real people, it is not a dummy company, my friend. It is a real company. It is just not a registered company. Okay, वो registration का process भी हम आपको बता देंगे last में. So if you want to convert into a registered company, आप करेंगे. Okay, and I will be delighted if you start selling even in this course. I am not going to stop you from selling anything. I am not going to stop you. I will encourage you to make a proper marketing page, proper website if you can do that. Facebook page, start selling things. Pilot करना है. कोई प्रोडक्ट शुरू करने से पहले उसे पायलट करते हैं. Okay, so this is what we are doing. We are piloting. That's what we are doing. Okay. So you are building an actual company. All right. Yes. Your voice is not audible.
It's not actually a real company.
Why is it not a real
Network
company? Why is it not a real company?
Sir, because it feels like we are. It feels like a quantum mechanics, like question. There is this particle is where seems like
what?
Like it is. We are working. We are working with the real customers.
You are not meeting the real customers? You can type it. Type it, Abzal. You can send me a WhatsApp. I think others can leave now. And if they, so best of luck. Please do this and we'll catch up. Take care.